Hi, and welcome back. And in this short segment, I just want to cover some basic constraints or considerations when it comes to knowing your plants, knowing what it is that you're working with. When we're doing irrigation, we want it to be as efficient as possible. And plants are going to be divided basically into four categories: very low water use, low water use, medium water use, and high water use. So an example of very low water use, and I'm speaking for myself here in California, might be our manzanitas, our native Arctostaphylos that grow out in the hills. The coffee berries, the Frangula genus. We're going to have toyons, the Heteromeles genus. These are all very low water use plants. And then low water use would be a little more summer water, maybe once a month, and then medium would be your typical landscaping shrubs, and whether it's native plants or not. And then high water use would be plants that have large, soft, supple leaves, something like a hydrangea or some of our different azaleas. Turf is certainly going to be a high water use under most circumstances. And if you're not sure, some of the characteristics of low water use plants, their leaves are going to be typically on the thicker, kind of leathery side. They're going to have some gray to them typically. Artemisia is going to have gray leaves. The Arctostaphylos, certainly the ones at the low elevations, are going to be gray leaved. A lot of our ceanothus, some of the salvias are also gray leaved. So that's one characteristic. Another might be a very soft hair or pubescence on the leaf that helps shade the leaf to retard any kind of transpiration. And then again, the high water use plants would be something along the lines of the hydrangea that's going to have a wider leaf to it and a thinner leaf. Acanthus, the bear's breech, that species is also going to be a higher water use plant just because of the structure of the leaf and the transpiration. And if you're not sure, then there's lots of resources online, or you can go down and talk to your local plant nursery professional and just get an idea from what they have to tell you as far as their growth habits. And the purpose of this being that we want to group our plants together in what we call hydrozones. And these hydrozones are simply plants of similar water use requirements, so that when we come to do our irrigation, we can do our irrigation much more efficiently, because now we know, oh, these are all low water use plants. They're only going to get watered maybe once a month through the summer period, at least here in the foothills. Each of your geographical areas are going to be slightly different, but this is the idea because it's going to make it so much more efficient. And by making it more efficient, you're going to be using less water. You're going to have healthier plants overall because you're not either over or under watering them because you've got mixed water use species together. And it's going to save money because in many instances we're paying for the water that we are pumping out. Whether you're paying a water agency based on a water meter at your property, or you're working out of a domestic well and you're paying the electricity charges. One way or the other, we're paying for this, and the more efficient we can make it, the healthier it's going to be and the more money you're going to save. So be aware of that, and I just wanted to put this as a quick consideration out. Know what your plants are, know what their water use requirements are, and it's going to be a lot easier to keep them healthy and happy over the long run. Okay, so in our next lecture, we're going to talk a little bit about hydrozones and go a little more into that, and then we're going to continue with designing the drip irrigation plan. Okay, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next lecture.